We wanted to look at the other side of this case, the possible defense. Both Ethan Crumbley, that 15-year-old accused shooting suspect, and his parents facing involuntary manslaughter charges could make. Joining us right now, criminal defense attorney Matt Fakhoury. Always good to see you.
Good morning. Always nice to see you as well.
This is a story that is rife with drama. I mean, you have parents being charged for a crime that their child reportedly or allegedly committed, and then you have possible warnings for the school district and the school superintendent. What did they do? What did the school officials do that possibly hindered the investigation or for the protection of students? So first, investigators see this mounting evidence involving text messages to their son from the Crumbley couple. What kind of charges could they really face here for making certain comments to their child that seem to kind of shoo away the seriousness of this matter?
Right. So right now they're both facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah.
The basis of that is essentially negligence, here really gross negligence. And what they're saying is any actions or inactions or omissions, even with Ethan, with the school, anything that they did or did not do is really showing that they were grossly negligent, and because of their negligence, that they should have known Ethan was a possible threat, that caused the death of these young men and women at the school. So that's the basis of the 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter.
Well, it's a strong statement from the prosecution. The prosecutor in that county saying that she wanted to make sure to send a statement that she had peace about this decision to charge the parents and to charge Ethan Crumbley as an adult. But how could they argue anything else in this case? The fact that the father said that he did not know that the gun was missing. Though when we're hearing about the prosecutor's notes, the parents apparently came to the school the same day as the shooting because they were called to the office because this young man had drawn sketches and written notes potentially alluding to the violence, the carnage that happened just within 3 hours on that school campus. What do you make in terms of I mean, there wouldn't be like an insanity defense here necessarily.
For the parents?
For the parents.
No, not at all. But there are going to be problems with this prosecution. So I think what she's doing is very unique. It's not unprecedented, but it is going to be a difficult prosecution. That's why it's unique. This doesn't happen often because the likelihood of conviction, I think, is relatively low. They have to prove that they caused this. The parents have a great defense, and the defense is, hey, we didn't cause this. There was an independent person, their son, who is 15 years old, who acted intentionally, and he was the break in the causation, for them at least, to be convicted of involuntary manslaughter. So they have a very good defense that they didn't cause this. The other side of that is again, the negligence, that they were so grossly negligent, maybe even reckless in their conduct or their lack thereof, that they in fact did cause the death of the 4 young men and women at the school.
By not storing the gun properly, by purchasing the gun for their son, if that indeed was the case, because again, we still don't know if this was the father's weapon and the son actually was able to retrieve it some other way. But then you have the school, and the teacher was actually the one who first noticed that this young man reportedly was looking up ammunition the day prior to the shooting. And then he had sketches with notes, like I was mentioning, that said, you know, I can't stop the thoughts, you know, that are going on in my head right now, and drawing pictures of this weapon. But they actually reported that to the front office. Still, do you think that the school could face any negligence charges themselves?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. That's what makes this case so interesting. Because potentially, you could charge the school under the same theory that you're charging the parents, right? That they had a duty to act and protect the other students, that they didn't do so, and as a result, this death resulted. However, I think that the negligence, if any, that's attributed towards the school pales in comparison to the negligence, the gross negligence with respect to the parents. It sounded like the school acted pretty promptly and very professionally. Now there's some, you know, it's uncertain where the gun was, whether it was in his backpack, whether they should have searched it, or if it was in his locker. I'm not sure if we know that just yet. I still think that it would be a stretch to charge them criminally. No doubt, however, there are going to be civil lawsuits against the school for negligence, but that's a whole different set of standards there.
Yeah, but still the parents being charged for such a serious crime, involuntary manslaughter in 4 counts. Again, like you said, this is likely unprecedented.
It is, well, I wouldn't say it's unprecedented. We haven't had a situation exactly like this. It is rare. I mean, what's clear is, like you said, the prosecutor is making a very clear message that gun owners, especially gun owners who are parents, need to be responsible. And if you're not, and something like this happens, you will be charged, at least in the state of Michigan.
There's so many factors in this case, and it's really emotional. Thank you so much, Matt, for coming on and talking about it.
Thank you.
We're going to see what happens next with this one. Well, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.